Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Abid Rida Babil, your chemistry teacher, and today I'll teach you the next lesson from the same module number 1. This is the periodic table. The periodic table is the table which gives some information about the elements in the periodic table. So this is also a simple periodic table which gives two main information. Number 1 is about the period and the group. Periods are the horizontal rows in the periodic table and groups are the vertical columns in the periodic table. There are 7 periods in the periodic table. Let me show you a clear one which we already learned some, and it will come again frequently. So there are 7 periods. Number 1 period contain hydrogen and helium. Number 2, number 3 period, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So this is the last period. So total 7 periods. The periods have only the number from 1 to 7. These lanthanide and actinide series are actually between the S block and P block of the last 2 periods. And there are 18 groups in the periodic table. So let's come back again to the same periodic table to learn about the groups. So 18 groups are there, but some of them have the names. So number 1 group have the name alkali metals. Number 2 group is the alkali earth metal. Another example is the halogen group. This contain fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. And the last 18th group is called noble gas group. All the elements in the same group have the similar properties. For example, here these halogens contain fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine. These are halogens and they have similar properties. The alkali metals have the similar properties. So groups are the collection of elements which have similar properties. Another information in this periodic table is about the metal and non-metal. This is shown by the color. If you see this light green color, this color, it is metal. This will be metal. Majority of the elements in the periodic table are metals. These are on the left hand side of the periodic table. So here it is shown by the color. You have to open the original PDF file to see the colors. Otherwise, if you see in the printout, you cannot see the colors. And on the right side, little bit above, this light blue color are called non-metals. So if you see here, this is non-metals. So this light green color on the left side is metal, and on the right side it is non-metals. Between the metals and non-metals, these are some metalloid. These elements have the properties between the metal and non-metal. That's why they are called metalloid. You have to just distinguish between metal and non-metal from the periodic table. If you see this here, there is a distinguished line between the metal and non-metal. These on the left hand side all are metal, and on the right side these are non-metal, and the elements along the line, these are called metalloid. So this is important information because you have to distinguish between the ionic compound and the molecular compound. So I hope you understand two things here between the group and the period, and the second thing is the metal and non-metal elements and the metalloid also. Now we finished about almost all the things about the atom, and now we come to the molecule. Molecules are simply the combination of 2 or more than 2 atoms arranged in a particular manner. This is called molecule. Very famous example is the water. 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen atom will make the water molecule. Hydrogen gas is always in the molecular form. Ammonia is also a gas with 1 nitrogen atom and 3 hydrogen. This is the model, stick and ball model, or you can say structure also. And this is methane example. And according to this, now we have 2 types of molecule. According to the number of atoms, we have 2 types of molecules. Diatomic. Di means 2. Atomic means when the element or the atom molecule contain 2 atoms, it is called diatomic molecule. For example, hydrogen is a diatomic, nitrogen gas is a diatomic, oxygen gas diatomic. Similarly, hydrochloric acid, this is also diatomic molecule, and carbon monoxide. But in the periodic table, you can see only 7 elements as a diatomic elements, These are shown in the blue color: hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. These are the examples of diatomic elements, but these are compounds: hydrochloric acid and carbon monoxide. Polyatomic, poly means many, atomic means atoms. More than two atoms combine to make a molecule. These are called polyatomic. For example, ozone. Now see here, this is the oxygen molecule. When it have 3 atoms of oxygen, it is called ozone. Water, it have 3 atoms, so it is polyatomic. Ammonia, already show you here, the ammonia, and the methane is also already shown you here. These are examples of polyatomic molecule. These are just example for your information. Another information from the periodic table you have to know is some metals have more than one charge. They are polyvalent. For example, we take one example, and we will learn more about this when you learn the nomenclature of the compound or the naming of the compound. So here we take one example. This is ferrous and ferric. So Fe2 plus is called ferrous and Fe3 plus is called ferric. See that at the end, this ends with us and this ends with the ik. The less charge cation will end with the us. Ferrous, it is 2 plus, it is less than 3 plus. So 3 plus is a more charge. So more charge cation will end with the ik. So it will be ferric. The more easy method is to write that iron 2 and iron 3. Just we look here, the charge is 2. So we write iron 2 and iron 3. I think this will be more easy for you instead of memorizing ferrous and ferric. So this is also the example or information that the cations can be polyvalent or more than one charge. Now come to the formula of the molecule. So formula can be represented by 4 methods, and this is number 1, molecular formula. It is very common. You are writing by your hand and watching and reading this molecular formula. And structure formula that we will learn as a Lewis structure in the next coming module. Ball and stick, this is the practical. You need the material stick and balls to represent a molecule like this. And the last one is the space filling model. This is computer generated pictures, models. This also gives some information about the molecule. Now types of formula. So because the molecular formula we represent as a molecule, it have 2 types. Number 1, molecular formula, and another is called empirical formula. Molecular formula, this shows us the exact number of atoms present in a molecule, while the empirical formula do not show the exact number, but it just show us the simplest whole number ratio of the atoms present in a molecule. And how to convert a molecular formula into the empirical formula? This you can learn by some examples. See the water molecule H2O. If you want to convert it into empirical formula, then you have to look the smallest and divisible number. Here H2O, the 1 is the smallest whole number. It means you can divide by only by 1. If you divide by 1, the answer will remain same. So the molecular formula of water and the empirical formula of the water is same. No change, because it's divided by 1. It cannot be divided by other number. But this is glucose, C6, H12O6. So this, if you look at these numbers of atoms, 6 is the smallest even number present in the molecule. So we can divide by 6. So let me show you some small idea, the method to show you that divide this C6H6, C6H12O6. This you don't need to write like this, but I'm just teaching you to divide by 6. So when you divide by 6, C1H2O1, this will be the answer. So here in the ozone, there is only one number, 3. So you can divide by simply 3. So answer will be O1. In this dinitrogen tetrahydrate, you can divide by 2, because 2 is the smallest even number here. So it will be N1, this is N1 and H2. So this is the method of converting molecular formula into the empirical formula you have to just divide by the even number or the odd number, but it should be whole number. You cannot make the fraction here, you cannot break the atoms, that's why. Now more clarity will come if you solve this exercise 2.3. Let us solve this exercise 2.3. So the first part A is acetylene C2H2. So this can be divided by, simply it is very clear here that you can divide by 2. So the answer will be C1 and H1 because we divide by 2. Very simple. So glucose I already taught you before, just before, and here this we divide by 6, so answer will be C1 H2 and O1. Okay, the nitrous oxide, because here is single atom oxygen, so we can divide only by 1, so the answer will be same N2. Let me write the 2 clear, N2O1. Now part D is a diborane B2H6. So you see this 2 is the smallest even number here, so we can divide by 2. So B answer will be B1H3. Dimethyl fumarate. So you see here the smallest even number is 4, so we can divide by 4. So answer will be C2H3 and O1 because we divide by 4. Now the vanilla, that is vanillin. If you see, this is the smallest odd number, but the 8 cannot be divided by 3. We don't want fraction, so we have to divide by 1. So answer will remain same. So it will be C8 H8 O3. No change because we divide by 1. Similarly, in the practice exercise here, the smallest even number is 2, so we can divide by 2 here. It is possible to divide. So this is C4 H5 N 2 and O1. I hope you understand this very simple thing, and this is also important for you to learn how to convert molecular formula into the empirical formula. Now we come to the compound. The compounds we will learn more detail, but now for the time being we learn only about the ionic compound. So what is ionic compound? Ionic compound is the combination of cation and anion. This is cation here and the anion. Actually this cation positive charge, usually the cations are metal, that I show you in the periodic table the position of cation. So from there you have to see where are the metals. Usually metals change into cation metals, and anions are usually not always, anions are usually non-metal. That you can see in the periodic table. You have to distinguish between metals and non-metals from the periodic table to understand how to recognize a ionic compound. So let me show you again once more. This is the metal and non-metal to make it clear. In this periodic table I told you here, on the left side these are called metals, on the right side these are called non-metals, and by color, if you see the colored periodic table, so this light green color, this is called metal, and the light blue color, these are called non-metals. Okay, now you have to see in the periodic table, and then to identify this compound is ionic or molecular or covalent or another type may be possible. So in the ionic compound, usually the formula is the simple empirical formula. We don't need to convert here molecular formula to empirical formula, because the formula is already empirical. And the main thing is that in the ionic compound, the formula shows that the balance of the charges, the cations and the anions are equal. That's why the total charge will be 0 on the ionic molecule. So let's see how it is possible. So these are the 3 examples of how to write the formula of ionic compound. I told you the ionic compound composed of metal and non-metal. So this is the example: aluminium oxide. Aluminium is metal, so it will come first. It is cation will always be first, and the non-metal here is oxygen. When it get 2 charge, it become oxide. So aluminium will be written first and the oxygen will be written after it, because aluminium is positive ion, cation will be first and the anion will be the next. And you have to see the charges. So aluminium have 3 positive charge and oxide have 2 negative charge. So first we write the aluminium, then the oxide, and the charges will be just crossed. So 3 charge of the aluminium will change into 3 atoms of the oxygen, and 2 negative charge of the oxide will come here as a 2 atoms of the aluminium. So we just cross the charges as a number of atoms. These are the number of atoms and these are the charges. And now if you learn this mathematically, this in the bracket, these are the charge, 3 plus charge multiplied by 2 because of 2 atoms. So total 6 plus charge and is equal to 6 minus charge. So total charge will be 0 on this molecule. So this is aluminium oxide. Another example is calcium bromide. Calcium have 2 positive charge. So calcium will be first because cation, and bromide will be the next because it is anion. Calcium have 2 positive and bromide have 1 negative. Just cross it. So calcium will become 1 atom and bromide will become 2 atoms. So calcium bromide will have 1 calcium and 2 bromine atoms. And this is the equation, shows you the balance. 2 positive will be balanced by 2 negative. So total net charge on this ionic compound will be 0. The last example is sodium carbonate. It contains sodium ion, positive 1 valency, 1 charge, and carbonate is the polyatomic anion because it has 1 carbon and 3 oxygen with 2 negative charge. So when we combine it, sodium will come first. The 2 negative charge will make 2 sodium atoms, and 1 positive charge of the sodium will make here carbonate as a 1 unit anion here. So sodium carbonate, this will be the formula. The charge will be balanced, plus 2 and minus 2 will be balanced. So total net charge on this ionic molecule is 0. No charge. Total charge will be 0. Now take another example. This is the exercise here. So magnesium nitride, we will solve it. See the magnesium, if we take the magnesium here as a first, so it will become Mg, and nitride will come after it, N. So this 3 charge of nitrogen will go here, Mg3, and 2 charge of magnesium here, this will become here 2 nitride. So Mg3N2 is the answer. Okay. Similarly here, chromium sulfate. So we write the chromium first here, chromium, and because this is 2 negative charge, so chromium will be 2 atoms. So we write it 2, and here sulfate is the polyatomic anion. So, and because we have to write 3 anions of sulfate, so we have to use the bracket. So in the bracket we write the sulfate SO4, and bracket close, and then this 3 will come here. So this is chromium sulfate. We have to use the bracket. So I'll show you here some one thing more here, that here in carbonate we didn't use the bracket because this carbonate is only one anion of carbonate, for whom we don't need to use the bracket here. But if it become 2 in other examples, so we have to make the bracket and close the bracket and then write the 2, like sulfate. We have 3 sulfate here, so we close the bracket and write the 3 outside the bracket. Now the last example here, titanium dioxide. Titanium is a tetravalent, so titanium will come first because this is cation, so titanium first and the oxide is the next, but oxide will be 4 because titanium have 4 charge, so oxygen will be 4, and titanium is 2 because there are 2 charge on the oxide, so this become 2. Sometime they ask you to convert into the empirical formula, so we have to convert this because it's divisible here. This 2 and 4 are divisible by 2, so the final answer will be titanium dioxide. So this way you can write the formula of ionic compound, and at the end this is your exercise, this is your homework. Please complete this table at your home yourself. I taught you in the lesson number 1, and inshallah in the next lesson we will learn about the chemical nomenclature. So wait for my third lesson.